Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, so today we're going to get into a little bit more of a big picture reading. The cosmic energies, the collective energies. So we're going to look at when we pull these. So yes, it's happening within the feminine and masculine polarities, but think of it as all of the masculines, all of the feminines that have a heart for these things are dotted all across the planet, all doing their little fractal job wherever they find themselves. I like to envision it as a flower of life with a star glow where each of us are equidistant, spread across the planet. So let's look at what the masculine collective on the divine masculine collective is working on right now. Okay, the 3D messages of love. This is the messenger of water. So the Page of Cups really is surrendering. It is seahorses. The male seahorses are, paternal, I guess, maternal in a way. They birth, I forget what the actual term is. Well, anyways, it's beautiful because there's this inclusion of a typically feminine attribute, birthing the young, caring for the children, being in that kind of an energy. And we have the 3D. So there's this surrender to the softer side, to the caregiver side, to the tender side in the 3D. It looks like the divine masculines are softening up, wearing their heart on their sleeve, speaking about their emotions more transparently, more openly. Yeah, it's a beautiful energy. So what would the divine like the collective to know about that happening for the masculines? What can we see for added information on the divine masculines speaking about their emotions and their emotional take, expressing themselves? Harmonic oscillator, timing, rhythm, synchronization, and frequency. I literally heard that they are syncing with the divine feminine as it's being anchored within and giving themselves permission to be more emotionally expressive. And victory, triumph, exaltation, and brilliance. So this is Metatron's star, the glow up, the Merkaba, I just saw a key, this emotional softness that the masculines are allowing themselves to incorporate is like a key that starts the glow up of the Merkaba. And of course, it's the opposite for the divine feminine, the masculine attributes of safety, protection, logic, stability. That's the key for the feminine's integration within. So we do have this next level of inner permission for the masculines to just be sweet, tender, expressive, that it's okay to have feelings, divine masculines, and to be not have to justify decisions made based on those emotional, intuitive calls. That's legit, I'm hearing. Okay, what are the divine feminines working on as a collective? We get essentially victory on this side too. It fell on the card of victory, but it's victory of stability within. The Four of Wands is a spiritual structure, a spiritual soul level tensegrity, meaning it holds its shape. It has integrity. It is flexible and yet it supports. So divine feminines, you are holding this new level of autonomous foundation on the soul level, union within. You have victory. I would say that's a pretty mirrored progression here. So while the masculines are anchoring emotionality and appropriate emotional expression into the 3D, the feminines are anchoring stability, spiritual stability, into the core, into the energetic center. If that makes sense. Okay, what are we seeing, Divine Creator, for the benefit, the output of this into the world through the feminines anchoring this inner stability on the soul level? Union within means independence. Wow, we get the hydrogen atom. Consciousness, beginning, and faith. So Divine Feminines, there has been a big day where all twins, you know, Mercury just went direct, I believe, but we're instantly seeing this reprieve. Like, there's victory in both the masculine and feminine in balance here. And it does feel like a whole new level of grounding, of faith. It's so interesting to me how, as we become more energetically focused, we're actually becoming more real, authentic, integral, but more grounded, more practical, more honest, more open, more joyful, more sincerely happy. It's a beautiful, beautiful day on planet Earth, y'all. Okay, let's get into the Divine Masculine reading. What is it that we can see, Divine Creator, for the Divine Masculine collective? What are they thinking about the connections with the Divine Feminine today? The strange and awesome creatures that the Divine Feminines are. What on earth do the Divine Masculines think about these connections? What do they feel in the heart space? What are they wishing for the connections? What actions are being taken in their own right towards the victory of union on every and all levels? What is the biggest challenge facing the Divine Masculines at this time? What is the spirit-guided solution for that challenge? And, oh, I want a different deck. I'm told these ones. And I'm going to shuffle for the Divine Feminines. What direction is the energy flowing at this time in the collective? Okay, on the conscious mind for these connections. Coming out of separation, coming out of the stillness, the knowing, and moving towards activation. The High Priestess is mercy, humility, compassion. In the reverse, it can sometimes coming out of hiding, coming out of the meditation, coming out of the otherworldly, and bringing it into action, into the physical. And this is a card of separation and sadness. In the reverse, that can be the ending of that, or the desire to close the gap. So there is a deep knowing that's inspiring this movement forward out of separation. For the feminines, we're getting tend to the small things. I'm really getting that the Divine Masculines are making these calibrations, and Divine Feminines, you're going to see small things if you're in communication. If you're not in communication, there will be things evident today, give or take, that are different, that will be a seemingly small thing, but it's really energetically moving mountains that has provided for that small change, the glitch in the matrix that you might witness. Little ways that your masculine and their influence in your life will be seen in something radically different. What is that? The Mandela effect? It's almost going to be like that. Some of you might find a Mandela effect. Wow, very cool. And for you Divine Feminines, tend to the small things. You will notice that there are small micro adjustments that you are being witness to in your own life. You're going to be seeing that you're speaking differently, handling things differently, making slightly different decisions. Just a little bit of a shift and you're a little bit more balanced, a little bit less attached, a little bit more whole, a little happier. So watch for those things, because energetically this is the victory, this is the grounding, the reality changing. We're seeing the shift. I am documenting the shift in real time. This is how the paradigm shift, the ascension, is taking effect on the planet, and we are pointing that out. We, the guides, us, all of you that see it, that you see what I'm saying here, we are witnessing this happening. And it's real. It's cool. Okay, on the heart space, anxiety about maybe not having been on the destined path more sure-footedly. Wow, so divine masculines, you see the light, you see this distant starlight, and there is some anxiety because it's like, oopsie, I could be different, I could be somewhere different, something could be different right now. So I'm really getting that the divine masculines are feeling like they can see a gap in what could be and what is right now. That's an interesting thing. There's a bit of a realization in the divine masculine energy. I've had it in personal reads, and so I have to share it because it's coming up, that the divine masculines are actually feeling the aloneness, the separation from the feminine. They've actually identified it. There's not so much of a taking for granted. It's like there's a realization of other. And that hasn't always been the case on the journey, because we are so intricately entwined. It's very hard to experience the awareness of other on this journey. And divine feminines, you've been letting go. You've been really being in your own connection with source, and that has allowed the divine masculines to get that breath of fresh air that shows them that you are not glommed onto them at all times, and they can see you now like a distant star, a distant shore. They are aware of the distance. There's a contrast that they're feeling, and dare I say, a longing, a small longing in their heart to bridge the gap. Yeah, what are the feminines feeling on the heart space? Co-create with spirit. This is twofold, because wishing on a star with the star card, divine masculines, that is a prayer. When you heart wish, when you wish on a star, that is like a prayer. So divine feminines, your divine masculines are starting to reach outside themselves energetically with that intention of bridging the gap. It's ironic when we look for external approval. This is a different kind of bridging the gap. That one is a kind of shoveling it inward. This feeling is emanating from the heart space and an invitation. It's a call, more of a call, rather than, it's like a heart whisper, rather than a hunger for filling the void. This is a pull, magnetic. Yeah, I'm actually feeling the magnetic pull of the twin. So the divine masculines are having a bit of a heart awakening from what I can feel, because they're actually feeling a pull that they haven't recognized before in a very crisp and sincere way. A homing device. I just heard. Okay. So this is the co-creation with spirit. Ravens might be a sign for you feminines. And 555s, the changes and the messengers. So I'm just being told that ravens can be a symbol of your masculine. In the next little while, I'm hearing 1 week. Wow, I never get that stuff, but for 1 week, the ravens are going to be bringing the divine feminines confirmations. I just saw 1444 of the changes, the change that the masculines are feeling, that magnetic resonance on their heart space. Wow, what are the masculines wishing for? Prosperity, growth, reciprocity. There is a soul spark that they're growing. They're starting to see a new kind of victory that they could have. There's a foundation. This might be the friendship energy that's coming in with the Mars-Venus conjunction. This is the sexual eclipse energy. So there is this promise of a nude day. I'm just full of them lately, hey? Anyways, this is the most phallic card in the deck. It's in the reverse, and I have been saying that the eclipse energy is the sexual consummation of the reciprocity, the seeing eye to eye, mutual respect of the twins, being able to actually hold space in friendship. And then this is the promise of what can come, the more that could happen down the road when it unfolds naturally on this new foundation, a grounding. I'm being reminded of the High Priestess with the mercy, humility, and compassion. So there is another message there that mercy, humility, and compassion are the ingredients that bring the bridging energy, and separation or distance or segregation ceases to make sense when we are just all love. And there is this idea that so the divine masculines actually are wishing for it to unfold naturally. And divine feminines, you are getting watch your words. So this is beautiful because we got a little bit of a message that you might be witnessing yourself using different words and making different changes and showing up a little bit differently than you have. So watch the magic of that, I'm being told. Yes, curate your words to the direction of love, not fear, not hate, none of those things that resonate on the lower. Watch what you say. It is called spelling for a reason. It creates worlds. But also watch the beautiful things that you're inspired to bring through as you channel, as you become more aligned with love. Watch what emanates through your speech into the world. And I cannot dismiss that as the masculines are wishing for this to unfold naturally, that the words that you speak about your partnerships, about your unions, about your counterpart, watch that that aligns with what you are seeking, which is unattachment, non-attachment, no expectations, and opening to something that exceeds your expectations, that is divine blessing, that is divine love that can come in, that is even more beautiful than what you could order with any of the limiting thoughts that you might be able to have from where you're at now. That's really an interesting thing, actually, divine feminines. Leave your speech open for more. Don't cap it with absolutes. Allow it to be spacious and to have room for growth. This is a card of growth. So the things you tell yourselves, the things you speak out loud, leave room in them. Just like you leave room in your heart for all that comes. So that you can remain balanced, leave room in your speech for things that exceed where you're currently at with your development in the future. What are the masculines' actions at this time? They are becoming more spiritual, seeking divine guidance to overcome karma. Too many people being involved, too many opinions, too many chaotic energies in the mix, not settling down, peer pressure, going against the higher knowing. That's coming to an end. The divine masculines are going in there and untangling the too extra. They're actively seeing through chaos and desiring to simplify, I just heard. Feminines, take the lead. Okay, so knowing that your divine masculine is doing this in their life, also take the lead of your own life without knowing that, or without even needing to communicate with your divine masculine. Take the lead in your own life and do that as well. Simplify your life, declutter, come back into the essential, distill the things in your lives into manageable, simple things so that you can be a free spirit, so you can be spontaneous. This is the Daughter of Wands. That is the free spirit, and that is untethered to things that bind. So remove anything in your lives, divine feminines, that bind, that keep you tied. And if that's not easy, work towards it. You will be so glad you did. Doing something each day towards a goal will get you there faster than sitting there and not doing anything, because it will be hard. Okay, what is the biggest challenge for the divine masculines? Bravery towards all of the things, setting the healthy boundaries because of all the things coming up from the deep, coming up from the subconscious. This is divine feminine, the moon energy, but it's also the keeper of the deep, the keeper of secrets. It's our subconscious coming to light. So this could be more dreams. The divine masculines, I'm getting that their egos are trying to speak to them through dreams to tell them what the higher self, translate the higher self. We have nightmares or intense dreams sometimes when we're not following what our higher self guidance is suggesting. Our ego comes in dreams and creates dis-ease so that we take note. Our dreams are there as tools, and so divine masculines might be having some intense dreams right now because they need to set healthy boundaries. They need to lay down the law. They need to become more righteous, meaning anything that misses the mark, anything that leaves them feeling hollow, lacking, shallow, depleted, needs to come to an end, and they need to put in these healthy boundaries because it's all coming up right now. But that is a challenge because there is a lot of it, I just heard. Divine feminines, what are we getting? Be loyal to what you love. So I just heard you love your masculine, and they're going through a hard time. So love them anyway. Love them at a distance, love them in silence, love them openly, love them with your whole heart. Use grace, divine feminines, but nonetheless, don't reject, don't make them the bad guy because they're in weak energy or struggling. Just love the darn divine masculines. Feminines, be loyal to that. You know you love them. Now just love them already, okay? What is the spirit guided solution? Wow, Seven of Wands to clarify the Seven of Wands. So this is an externalized version of the card being in the upright. So divine masculines, you might be challenged by the things in your environment that need to have healthy boundaries set. You might have to speak up to certain people because something on the deeper level has been illuminated to you, and changes need to happen. Bad influences, unequal partnerships, conduct around you that just rubs you the wrong way or makes you grit your teeth. Oh, I just heard there are some divine masculines grinding their teeth at night because they're stressed about their environment. Wow. And we get divine intervention won't happen unless you set these healthy boundaries internally. We get the same card, Seven of Wands, but in the reverse here is internal boundaries. So the thoughts you think, the standards you have for yourself within divine masculines, that will lead you to desiring the same kind of harmony and peace and cooperation externally. But you have to do that within and then ask for that to match it. And that's what turns the wheel, I'm being told, with your external, with your environment. When you set that within, your external reality follows suit. But it's about setting that intention, setting those requirements, the standards. So you are going through an up-leveling of standards right now, divine masculines and divine feminines. Transformation is beautiful. So this is the transformation we're witnessing for the divine masculines at this time. It is setting new standards, leveling up, becoming more pure. And with that emotional message at the beginning, speaking genuinely from the heart to those involved so that they understand what those requirements would be. It came through earlier to me that there's our languaging is severely lacking in the ways of communicating healthy boundaries on an individual, unique level. It's hard to advocate for ourselves with our languaging these days. And so we're all designing that. So if you are feeling called to become more healthy, to set better boundaries, to be able to express what we're feeling when we get maxed out or overwhelmed, just know it's valid. You're allowed. It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be perfect. But you are allowed to speak out what isn't feeling good. You are also allowed to meditate on what might feel better and to genuinely find solutions. Languaging about energetics and emotions and dynamics, it's a work in progress to get there, but everybody who sincerely puts that in, puts the heart into it, is contributing to the paradigm shift. Again, this collective energy, this is how each of us collaborate a collective agreement. And memes, all of the things that turn a phrase, humor permeates the internet, and when somebody finds a gem, it just goes viral. So invent new ways, keep inventing new ways to communicate truth. Personal, sovereign, healthy boundaries, truth. Divine masculines, you are ushering in a new code of conduct that is more heart-centered, more emotionally transparent, and is setting a new standard for conduct within yourself and in your environments. It's a powerful leadership. Where is the collective going? New beginnings and internal paradigm shifts. The tower in the inverse for me is an internalized restructuring. Brand new way of showing up based on this radical shift in the importance of validating and honoring the emotional awareness within the individual and advocating for that with healthy boundaries. It's a brand new level of this into the world. Okay, let's get an energetics on that note for the masculines. How are the masculines showing the world these new shifts, union? Seal of clairsentience, clarity, knowledge, channeling, and unification. So, when you're in alignment with your heart, you are essentially channeling divine masculines, because our hearts are made of love, and that is the divine. Love is the only eternal. God is love. They say love is my religion. And when you speak from that place, when you speak from love, you're speaking straight from source. Use that words. Be that voice on earth. Love will never harm. It will never ask anyone to harm. When you're channeling, you don't have to worry that you are opening up to dark forces or something like that. If it's loving, you're channeling. If it's love, 1000% every time it's channeled. For those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, when you talk and see love, you're channeling. And that is the highest frequency, and that is the needed ingredient in all moments. What is the card for the feminines? We are getting regarding the internal shifts. path change, paradigm shifts, and adjustments. So Divine Feminines, watch your words. I'm going to bring it back. Speak from that new place of heightened consciousness, of increased compassion, of forgiveness, of love. Speak from that new place. Update your languaging based on your heart expansion that this journey has provided in your life. Continually be creative with the ways that you express and speak love into the world. What a beautiful message. I'm feeling it today. Yeah, some deep heart work today, and I really, really love you all. Bye for now.